What's up, guys? It's Timothy Shores, and today I'll be going over printed all pairs in JavaScript. I'm a social software engineer at Optum. I'm also a software engineering fellow at Formation. Purpose of this channel is to help coding bootcamp students, CS majors, self-taught programmers, and fellow junior devs. If you like that, if that describes you, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to connect, I'll drop a link to my Discord in the chat below. Alright, guys, so the problem we're working on today is called print all pairs in JavaScript. Yeah, we're enumerating through all pair problems. Um, so yeah, this is a pretty common approach in brute force algorithms. Yeah, so given an array, we're going to print out all pairs. This is the function that we'll be creating. Runtime is quadratic of n squared because you have to have basically like a nested for loop, for loop within a for loop. Yeah, if you see this here, print all pairs 1, 2, 3. The first pair is 1, 2, and then we have 1, the first element, and the last element 3, and the last pair is 2 and 3. And then yeah, so if you have 4, but yeah, that's yeah. Then the next one with 1, 2, 3, 4, ones with 2, 3, 4, and then 2 with 3, 2 with a 4, and then lastly 3 with a 4. I'll go ahead, have a test suite. I'll just go ahead and commit, show you guys what I currently have from this file. So I just have, yeah, the tests from, yeah, some test cases, and then what they should be returning. And as you can see, this is exactly from what we're just looking at. I'll go ahead and commit this really quick. Setup, and this program that I'm using is Kraken. It's a paid SaaS product. I'll go ahead and show you guys repo, and I'll include this link in the video description below. And yeah, you can see print pair setup just got pushed to GitHub. So yeah, if you want to go ahead, you can actually download this code. But the easiest way to do this is if you go over here, click these 3 buttons, click View File, and then click on Raw. And if you just do Control-A, you can just select copy and paste this, put into your text editor and follow along. Alright, so I'll just continue reading the prompt. Basically, yeah, you want to test empty arrays of one element, 2 elements, odd, evens, that have duplicates. As you can see, the test suite that they provide is what I have in my VS Code, which is what now you have as well. If you've went to the link and then I don't know why that's not transferring. All right, and then just gonna continue reading through the kind of setup. So, yeah, this is just for this question was like an interview problem. Yeah, you kind of just want to clarify what the outputs are. So, for kind of weird edge cases, yeah, I mean, empty array or something would print nothing. Algorithm print out duplicates. Okay, yeah, the duplicate one, I think there's this example right here, 5, 8, 5, 8. You can see that the same pairs are printed multiple times, the 5 and the 8, 5, 5, 5, 8, 8, 5, 8, 8, 5, 8 again. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. I think this one is estimated to be 20 to 30 minutes. Let's see how. So I'll go ahead and just kind of ESX functional syntax, print all pairs, print all pairs, and this will take in an array, and then we'll return something. Or actually, no, this will be console logging. All right, so what immediately comes to mind for me is if you notice that these top two example outputs, there's either a 0 or 1 element. Basically, a pair is just two items within the array. So, for example, this 1 and this 2, or I should make this even bigger. This 1 and this 3, that's a pair. You can see in the first two kind of test case examples, 1, 2, then we have 1, 3. And the last final pair is the 2 and the 3. So if you have 0 or 1 elements, yeah, empties array or the length of the array is only 1 element, we can just kind of return. So if array arr.length is less than 2, we just simply return. But now if we have yeah, so I think the easiest thing for algorithm questions is it's starting with like the smallest cases possible. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3 is a simpler example than 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 is a simpler example of 1, 2, 3, 5, and so on. That last one is just basically duplicates. So. But the approach that we'll want to take is, I'll just kind of walk through this to get this. So what we want is the pairs 1, 2, 1, 3, and 2, 3. What I notice in here is the first two results. This is a combination of 1. So let's just, I'll call this kind of P1 right here, under the 1, and then this one right here is P2. P1, P2, these are just pointers. So last video that I posted, we just had a single pointer iterating through this through arrays. This video will be covering nested for loops, which is just a 2-pointer looping through arrays. But yeah, as you can see, the first result is a combination of 1 with 2, and then if we move our combination over, we basically are iterating with this, moving this pointer over. Now we have the combination 1, 3, and then lastly, once this is at the 3, we'll increment this pointer, the first pointer. And yeah, I have something on where it auto formats, but okay, and then you can see, yeah, we can kind of move this over. The last pair is 2, 3. I'll show you this basically kind of high level approach before writing any code on the next example, and then also, yeah, on the following examples, just to make sure that this is like the appropriate solution, the way to go ahead and get all pairs. I'm just going to show it visually, so that way when we go to write the code, it'll make a lot of sense. Okay, so yeah, in this case we have a combination 1, 2, and then actually I'll get rid of all these commas to match the other ones. But yeah, we have the first it's 1, 2. We increment our pointer 2 over. Now we have a combination right here 1, 3. And then once we get to the last element 1, 4. Now this combination. So when we get to the last when pointer 2 gets to the last index or the last element, it's actually array in the length -1 to get the index. So it gets the last element, and then we increment our first pointer. Now that we're done with the first element, over to 2, and then we'll reset our pointer 2 to be Dog's bored of this lecture. The next element, which is 2, and then we have the second pointer, just one element to the right, and then once we have that, move it over, continue the process, and then 2, 4, and then again we're at the last element right now, so we'll move the first pointer over by 1, and and then this would be the final output. So so it looks like this approach works for this test case, these 2 test cases. I think rather than kind of going through this last one, I'll just leave these last 2 as basically kind of test cases when we run this program, just to kind of compare the output. But so we want 2 pointers. And we want the first pointer 1, is going to start at the first element, index 0. So that's I equals 0. Well, I is this the length of the array. We'll do and actually this would be a -1, because if we just have less than array.length, that'll take it all the way to the end. But as you can see in the kind of the example outputs, the last pair is 2, 3, so it actually ends 1 element before the very end. So, and then the last pair in this one, in 1 through 4, is the number 3. Last pair in the array 1 through 5 is number 4. All right, so this will be keep track of pointer 1, and then on the inside we'll have pointer 2 position. So keep track. I'm just gonna say pointer 1 position. Let me just check really quick. Okay, I did start the timer. So this next pointer, have you noticed how I had when each of these loops, or each of the first result in here is 1, 2. It's actually for all 3. So basically the second pointer 2 is starting 1 index to the right, or 1 higher index than pointer 1. So that's how we'll initialize it. And again, this will also be a for loop as well. So it'll be I plus 1, and this one will go all the way to the end of whoops. Should be a semicolon. This one will go to the very, very end, because if we look at the last, the last pair, the last number is always the end number. This in 1 through 3, it's the number 3. 1 through 4, the number 4. 1 through 5, it's number 5. So this one will go all the way to the end of do also increments as well. And then what we're going to do is, this is just printing all pairs. So print constant log statement. We don't have to really store any data. But we'll just do the array at index I. And then I'll just do kind of a old school format, or we can do, I guess, with the tick marks. Okay, so this will be printing out array at index I, which is the first pointer, followed by a space, and then array at index j, which is the second pointer, and then that should be it. So I'll go ahead, and the extension that I use is called Quokka. Um, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what this thing does. I like it for these types of kind of coding exercise problems because you'll see this on the screen very shortly. It's a little bit easier than running the file. Okay. Whoops, I totally forgot to clean up the last console log. But, all right, so I'll go ahead and start. Let me actually just comment some of these out. I think, I'm not sure if this will work better, just calling console log and then passing it in here. I think that's actually, yeah, the way that I'll do this. And the extension I'm using, I just type in CLG, followed by tab, and that makes it just a shortcut for printing the console log. Okay, so no, that didn't work. Yeah, because the statement should have returned. Oh well, I'll just ignore this and I'll kind of just go through things in console log them. But as you can see in right here, I have the pairings 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and 2, 3. But that matches up with kind of what our expected values are: 1, 2, 1, 3, and 2, 3. And if I comment this out, you see that it disappears. And also in here, print all pairs when I'll just remove these console logs. You can see that it doesn't really return anything, which is what we are expecting. Whereas if I uncomment the 1, 2, 3, it returns our expected values. Go ahead, I'll move these just to make it easier to see all on one screen. Drop these down here. This out. All right, so instead of 1, 2, 3, the array will do 1, 2, 3, 4. So the expected output is 1, 2, which is what we have up here. 1, 2, 1, 3, down here. 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, Michael Jordan's number, 24, and then 3, 4. So yeah, it looks like we are returning all pairs for this one as well. Go ahead and just move this down so it's all just a single screen. Then I'll comment that out so that way we go back up into our function. Yeah, we see nothing just besides the definition. Now the last one, so we didn't go through this example when I had the actual kind of the exponential thing showing like point to 1, point to 2, how they kind of move like through, or I guess I don't know this way, but yeah, how the loops would iterate just at a higher level before writing it, before we wrote this function. Um, but yeah, so I'll just kind of go through what the test cases we're expecting, and then what the outputs are. So yeah, 12 through 15, 12 through 15, we got those, and then let's see if I can keep that up. Uh, let's see if I can keep both up at the same time. And then yeah, so 23, 24, 25, 34, 35, and then the top, you can still see 45 at the top. Um, yeah, so it looks like it passes for this. I'll go ahead and move this down to the bottom. And then lastly, let me count this. This is the example with some duplicates. So yeah, we've got 5, 8. Or yeah, outputs 5, 8, 5, 5. So 5, 8, 5, 5, and then another 5, 8, and then 8, 5, 5, 8, 8, 5. Lastly, 8, 8, and then 5, 8. So looks like yeah, this function. I'll just reorder these just so that way they. It's just kind of like the original way that I found it. I could come up with more test cases, but I know this is the right answer, so I'm pretty confident with it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and, although that looks pretty ugly with all this stuff there, go back up into my Kraken. So yeah, I just like GitKraken. It's just, I think it looks nicer than, rather than, you could just use the terminal. You could use the built-in, then VS Code source control tab, or this thing right here. But yeah, GitKraken's nice. You kind of see the changes. All these other inline view, just like how the files changed from when I first committed it versus when we added our solution. Yeah, we took out the commas and then just implemented the code. So that was great. Add solution to print pairs. And then let's go back in here. Pretty sure it works, but yeah, I'll drop a link to this solution. Yep, so yeah, go ahead and drop a link to this so you guys can take a look at the code, download it. Yeah, this is printing all pairs in a JavaScript array. Hope this helps. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions on yeah, JavaScript arrays. All right, have a good one.